Hey there, folks. If you want to keep up with stories like this, make sure you follow S News. You know, every like, comment and subscription really helps us bring you more of these deep dives. So, don't forget to support us by subscribing, liking and dropping your thoughts below.
China says, we're ready to share our technology with our partners. So, who's taking this chance? Iran?
A country once choked by sanctions, isolated and restricted, is now more confident than ever. One major reason, support from Beijing. But don't think this is just another arms deal. Behind it is a strategy, a message, and preparations for worst-case scenarios. It's very likely that the weapons Iran is buying aren't just for defense, but for counterattacks if needed. The question is, why now? Why China? And what weapons does Iran already have that could rival even China's arsenal? Let's break it down.
That's when China stepped in. Reports mentioned a large Chinese Boeing 747 cargo plane landing in Iran, even though Iranian airspace was closed at the time due to a 12-day war. The plane's transponder was turned off on purpose. So what was on board? It wasn't just spare parts. Reports say it included heavy military equipment, missiles, drones, and advanced electronic systems. This wasn't just about solidarity between anti-US countries, it looked more like a barter deal. Export data shows over 90% of Iran's oil now goes to China. And China seems to be paying, not with cash, but with weapons. Maybe Iran's skies are now better protected, but defense alone isn't enough.
When dozens of US and Israeli fighter jets attacked Iran during that 12-day war, the harsh truth came out. Iran's air force was practically invisible. No counter-maneuvers, no interception missions. Iran has plenty of missiles, but its fighter jets are barely a presence. That's a huge gap they're now trying to fill with new combat gear. Reports say Iran is pushing hard to get China's J-10C multi-role fighter jet, part of the 4.5 generation class, which may be their most realistic option. With an aging fleet, limited funds, and Western sanctions, the J-10C is a cheap, deadly, and logical choice. Nicknamed the Rafale killer, it's capable of challenging some of Israel's frontline jets in certain scenarios. It has fast maneuvering, a modern AESA radar, and compatibility with various air-to-air missiles. China has already said it's open to offering the J-10C to friendly nations, and Iran seems to be waiting its turn. Because while Iran's ground weapons are resilient, only air power can keep up with modern threats. For Iran, the J-10C isn't just another jet. It's a long-awaited counterstrike wing.
Another piece of the puzzle? Iran was caught importing ammonium perchlorate, a key chemical for solid rocket fuel used in ballistic missiles. And not just small amounts, thousands of tons, enough for over 800 rockets. Interestingly, this shipment happened in early June, before the 12-day war started, raising serious questions about whether Iran had been preparing in advance. If you connect the dots, it's possible that those secretly landed Chinese cargo planes, flying without transponders for 3 days straight, were carrying this raw material. All of them were Boeing 747s, large planes often used for heavy military logistics. And this isn't a one-off. Since early 2025, Iranian cargo ships have also been spotted going back and forth from Chinese ports, loaded with sodium perchlorate, another chemical used in missile fuel. Some of that ammonium perchlorate is believed to be redirected to Iran-aligned networks like the Houthi group in Yemen. Now, all the components are in place and ready. Iran's missiles are coming back to life. All they need now is one thing, a direction. But before launching, they also need to defend against counterattacks.
That's where the next piece comes in, the air shield from the east. If Iran gets the J-10C, it will likely come with a deadly companion, the long-range PL-15 air-to-air missile, specifically built for these jets.
Fighter jets like the J-10C come with serious firepower. Take the PL-15 missile, for example. This isn't your average missile. It has an active ASA radar and a longer range than many of its Western counterparts, including the US-made AIM-120 AMRAAM. That means Iran could strike enemy aircraft before those targets even realize they're being locked on.
In Iran's case, this could be a game-changer. One of the country's biggest weaknesses has been the limited range of its air force. But with the PL-15 system, Iran could hit targets from far away, even before they enter Iranian airspace. And when paired with the J-10C jet, it turns the skies from a defensive zone into a hunting ground.
Still, fighter jets and missiles don't mean much without one critical component: intelligence. That's why Iran still needs one more key piece to control the skies: a proper AWACS, or Airborne Early Warning and Control System aircraft. These planes act as flying radar stations and command centers. Right now, Iran doesn't have enough of them.
But in a full cooperation scenario with China, a few major names pop up immediately: KJ-200, KJ-500, KJ-600, and the KJ-3000. These Chinese-made AWACS platforms are crucial in China's air defense network. They can spot enemy aircraft hundreds of kilometers away, track multiple targets at once, and help coordinate both air and ground responses.
Without AWACS, Iran's fighter jets and missiles are essentially flying blind. But with it, the airspace turns into a chessboard. Iran would be able to see first, move first.
According to intelligence reports, Iran has already received several batteries of the HQ-9B air defense system from China. This isn't just any missile system. It's often referred to as China's version of Russia's S-400. It's a long-range surface-to-air missile capable of detecting and destroying planes, drones, and cruise missiles from hundreds of kilometers away. What's interesting is that these systems were delivered quietly, right after the ceasefire from the recent 12-day war. No ceremony, no announcements. But satellite images, radar signals, and logistics movements suggest these systems were deployed in Iran's western and southern regions. The number of batteries remains unclear, but sources say the deal was done through barter Iranian oil in exchange for weapons. One container of oil, one component of the system. The HQ-9B is now a key part of Iran's layered defense system, starting with domestically made short-range defenses, moving through mid-range Russian gear, and topping off with these new Chinese long-range systems. Iran's skies are now covered from all sides, and China isn't just sending hardware, they're also helping design Iran's overall air defense structure. The arrival of the HQ-9B marks a clear shift. Iran's airspace is no longer exposed.
Sure, Iran can buy weapons from China, but using them effectively is a whole different challenge. It's not just about the tech, it's about transition. Switching over to a Chinese system means massive costs, long training programs, and complete political backing.
Pakistan's experience is a good example. It took years to build up a combat fleet with Chinese systems. They had to train pilots, integrate radar systems, and set up proper maintenance. Iran will have to do the same. Fighter jets, missiles, and crews only matter if everything is working together. It takes more than just buying gear. It takes national commitment.
But one thing is now very clear: Iran is no longer relying on Russia, and it doesn't seem too concerned about Western sanctions either.
They've started a new chapter, and China is becoming their main supplier.
Finally, thanks for tuning in and listening. We really appreciate your support, so don't forget to follow S News and keep an eye out for our future videos. If you enjoyed this one, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment.